My name is Mahima, and I'm here to speak about implementing data strategy for data-driven approaches for enhancing customer success. Before we dive in, a little bit about me. I've been working as a data science and analytics manager at LogicMonitor. I have been fortunate to work for enterprise companies like Salesforce and Siemens before my current role. And a lot of my experience has been in the customer analytics space to enhance customer experience. Before I start, this is one of the statements slash problem I encountered with one of the executives with my previous employers, and it goes with we are surrounded by data but starved for insights, which is very true in the modern world. We do not live in a world where sourcing data is a problem, but deriving insights from it and the knowledge that we need to derive insights from it has been a challenge in the past. In the modern world, data is an asset for all the companies. We leverage it to improve our products, to improve the experience that we provide our customers, and gain insights of how we can grow our business and ultimately impact revenue. Let's talk about the power of data in customer experience. As we live through the digital worlds, as there's more digitization happening in all the sectors of the society, customer experience is becoming more important. According to a recent survey by McKinsey, it was 30% of customer service was offered digitally before COVID. The number has gone up to a 75% after COVID. And it's very important that a good experience is provided to your customers to retain them, because there is a product or an alternative for every product out there. So it's difficult to retain a customer. And hence, customer service is a very important aspect of growing your business and retaining your customers. How data plays a role in it is also becoming very important, because data is used to offer more tailored and personalized experiences to each customer. It helps in streamlining a lot of operations, in resource management, and also with doing a lot of predictive insights and understanding the customer behaviors and understanding what your customer needs before they even come to you. It also helps to identify a lot of pain points and pitfalls that your customers might see during their customer journeys. A little bit into understanding how data can be leveraged to understand customer behaviors. In the CX space, there is a lot of data that comes through various systems. You are dealing with the CRM data, you're dealing with all the transactional data that comes through different systems of interaction with your customer. You're dealing with product analytics software, how customers interact with your product, the usage behavior, and then there are different surveys and direct feedback loops that you have with your customers. Some of the techniques that are applied in the CX space is customer journey mapping. What customer journey mapping is, think about all the steps that a customer has to go through, right from when the sale has happened to when they're onboarded to when the implementation happens and when they finally become a customer, all through the way till the end, till they churn or renew. This is an important aspect in the CS organization, as you're able to track your customer through the journey and also measure the effectiveness of the services and the products that you provide, and help them leverage it to the best possible way. Another technique that is done within the CX organizations are segmentation, and that helps your organization to tailor the products depending on the type of customer you're catering to. Some of the examples that of data analytics being used by big enterprises are Amazon and Netflix. I'm sure most of you use them in your day-to-day life, and whenever you're on your Amazon app, there are recommendations even before you think about scrolling through things because your buying patterns, your browsing patterns have all been analyzed, and the recommendation engines are in place to give you a more personalized experience. All of this is done using the data, the customer data that we feed into these systems, and understanding the behavior of your customer to cater to their needs even before they raise a flag with an issue. How data helps with customer journeys. So as I said, customer journey mapping is one of the most important exercise when it comes to offering a good customer experience by organizations. What customer journeys do is it helps to identify the touch points within the journey of a customer. We collect data at each milestone to understand customer behaviors and tailor experiences to their needs. It helps in measuring the effectiveness of the journey. It helps in measuring the effectiveness of the programs and the services offered at each milestone. It also improves it also helps to improve customer retention. Onboarding a new customer is more expensive for organizations than maintaining the existing book of business. And if you look at most of the bigger organizations or enterprise customers, 75 to 80% revenue comes from existing customers, then onboarding new customers. And that is why mapping your customer's journey, tracking metrics around each milestone, offering services and products to them as per their needs is an important aspect in any business for growth and expansion. And data helps to track all of that and inform strategies and programs so that your customers are always engaged and the best possible solutions are provided as per their needs. Some of the metrics that are very common within the CX space are net promoter scores, customer effort scores, churn and retention, of course, is a big part of the key KPIs that are measured within the CX org. Now, there can be multiple KPIs depending on the product or the service that your company offers, but generally these metrics all are based and defined around the business goals and they align with metrics with your overall business strategy. The key performance metrics are usually the numbers that feed into the financial metric and how the growth is measured for your business. All these metrics that are defined at different stages for customers help in creating a data-driven decision-making process and we'll just take a look on how all of that is done. To define a particular metric, the first step is obviously to collect data. But when you are in the CX space, you are dealing with multiple apps and multiple platforms to collect all of that data because you need a holistic view of the customer. You need to know since onboarding how much the customer has spent with you. How is the product utilization looking for that particular customer? What are the engagement metrics when it comes to the CS side of the house? How are the implementation metrics looking for them? All of that data might sit in different systems. Your support team might be using Zendesk, but your customer data sits in Salesforce. There can be multiple platforms that you might have to integrate and perform different activities to consolidate all of that data. So collecting data is where most of the teams spend a lot of time to bring in good quality data to begin to define the metric. The next step is again analyzing those sources. Since it is coming from different sources, it could be differently structured. Some might be text formats. There are audio calls being recorded by the CSMs. There's a lot of voice of the customer data sitting in different platforms. So the next step would be analyzing data and then performing analysis to understand if there are any trends and patterns that might ultimately give you insights to understand the customer behaviors. Interpreting those insights usually feeds into implementing actions and strategies. A lot of CX programs and strategies are driven by the insights that we derive from collating all this data. And again, after the programs and strategies are implemented, you need to continuously iterate and monitor through those programs as the market changes, as the needs of your customer change, and there needs to be a continuous improvement cycle depending on the feedback loops that you create with your customer and the changing market trends. Again, to lead a data-driven customer success strategy, there can be multiple challenges that your team can encounter. The most common one is data quality issue. Again, since you're dealing with multiple systems, the quality of data is usually a challenge for the analytical teams to either work around the data to get insights or build models for any predictive activity that your team is looking forward to do. Integration also seems to be a problem. As I said, there are multiple systems that we interact with. Usually, all the systems would connect seamlessly is can be done in a perfect world, but it's usually a problem for companies of bigger sizes and each team working out of their own apps to track their metrics and KPIs. Data silos, again, is a problem with different teams having their own metrics that they track in different systems, and it can be a challenge to bring all of that in across different departments and collaborate on the same to derive insights from different sources. Implementing advanced analytical tools. This can look different, and the tech stack can look different for different companies. Some of the common ones that are used within the CX space are Google Analytics, Salesforce CRMs for housing your customer data. There are visualization tools for Tableau and Power BI. One thing while implementing analytical tools to keep in mind is to keep your customer in mind. You as the analytics professional or a data science professional will be delivering insights to someone in the field that is close to their customer and they understand the customer's language. So every time you design a solution or implement a new tool, the one thing that you need to keep in mind is the ease of use for your end user. If they are able to interpret the same insights that you did while evaluating the data, and if you're clearly conveying that information or that insight to them so that they can guide their customers. Similarly, while onboarding any new tool or any data-driven strategy making process, is to keep in mind your business goals, how you are catering to your customers, the integration capabilities of all these different systems to give you a holistic 360-degree view of your customer. Finally, I'd like to end with a great customer experience example that I recently encountered was with Disney. And if you've been to Disneyland or Disney World, you're familiar. Disney uses something called the Magic Bands, where they track all the activities that you do once you enter the park, all your buying or purchasing patterns, the activities that you pay for, and things that you want to do, the age groups within your group, and they recommend you alternatives for things that you're looking for, or recommendations for the activities that might interest you. And I think that is a great customer experience that is a great customer experience to use their products and services in the best possible way. And that is how data can help all these enterprises, small companies, big companies, to cater and tailor the product and the services that they offer to their customers and also track their growth and revenue.